Hey guys, so we are going to create this memorial image using PicsArt. You're going to click on PicsArt, and then the first thing you're going to do is click on, first you'll click on Add Edit Image. Excuse me. So again, click on Edit Image, and then you're going to select the image that you want to edit. But first you want to select your background. So you'll just click on background at the top. And I select a transparent background since ultimately that is, it makes it easier to use on different items. Whether it be t-shirts, mugs, any other memorial items that you want to make. It makes it much easier when you already take care of the background. And so here I clicked on sticker, which is at the bottom toolbar. Clicked on sticker. I selected a background that or it's really a sticker, but I selected a sticker that I like. I play with the opacity until I get it where I like it. Then I click back on sticker again. And I'm just going to click additional elements. These are my most recent ones. You can also they save them automatically. So I knew that I used this previously and wanted to use it for this one. So I clicked on it, and here I'm just going to kind of adjust some things, get everything the way I like it, and then we'll move forward after this. But typically what I do is once I decide on what background I'm going to use, I just play with the opacity. I play with sizing. Also, excuse me, if you want to add any additional background elements, this will be the time to do it. But again, in this case, I'm doing a very basic and simplistic design for memorial items. Now, what you'll also see me using is all of the tools in the toolbar below. That will be your best friend. As you learn PicsArt, you learn to use the different tools that are made available through from the toolbar. Erase will be one of your best friends. If you want to soften edges and erase them as well, but don't erase as sharp as they already are, or you just want to have a softer image edge, you can use the erase tool, and then hardness and size will actually make it softer or more sharp for you. So the harder you have, the higher your hardness level is, then the sharper the edges will be. Now here you see me adding the actual image that I am actually going to use. She initially had on a red dress and had a background and some writing on the photo, but I just cleaned everything up, and I knew I wanted to go with a pink aesthetic, and so I changed that. Here, back to where I was just speaking about hardness and getting rid of those hard edges. I just lessened my hardness level, and then also I took down the size of my my brush. And as you can see, I'm just softening those edges because the picture A is soft, and then also it's just going to be a more classy, soft image that we are ultimately going to end up with. So here I'm just, I zoom in a lot and zoom out a lot as well when I am making soft edges or intricate deletions or additions. I'll go ahead and zoom in, but then I zoom out so that I can see the image in totality. But you click on text once you are happy with your image. You would click on text, and then you just start entering in the different text that you want to have on the image. So bear with me here. Now for this one, I am using always in our hearts. And again, make sure that you check your punctuation. Make sure that everything is uniform. So don't have some words capitalized at the beginning and then others not, because it just makes you look like an amateur. And then it also makes it look like you really didn't put a lot of effort into it. But as you can see, I'm just placing the text down, and then when you see that track line, it lets you know that you are either on an edge equal to another edge, or either you have it centered. And in this case, I wanted it to be centered to the image. And here you'll just see me kind of play around with my font options and also the stroke, just because Again, it's ultimately going to go on multiple products, so you just want to be sure the product itself is not going to swallow the image. So sometimes you do need to have a stroke around your words or even a shadow as well. Now here what I did was I clicked on the element and I clicked duplicate, and then I moved that down to the bottom for the remaining of the text that will be entered. It will not stay the same text fully, and then it's also not going to stay the same size, but that's just so that it makes it easier for me to make sure I still have the exact same color and the exact same tone, because sometimes eyeballing it doesn't work. So that's just an easy way to do that. And then you can also click on font and change that if you would like as well. But again, pay attention to your bottom toolbar. Those are all of the options that are available to you and that you'll use most often. And as you can see here, since I put her name in, I'm just kind of playing with the placement and how large I want it to be as well as how wide. There I'm adjusting a little of the background as well. All right, and so I'm just going to take a little time here to get the font exactly as I would like it to be. Again, as I play with this, just keep in mind, again, this toolbar is your best friend. If you click on font, you get you get a sub menu, and then if you click on see all, you'll see all of the fonts that are available to you. Here though, what you see me doing is I clicked on color, and then I clicked on texture on the right hand side of the menu there, and I clicked on I typed in metallic, and then I chose a color scheme that I wanted to go with, just because you don't want everything to be all the same color, because it actually swallows up the design. All right, and as you can see here, I'm just going to enlarge her name just a little bit here, and it'll all make sense as I start putting in her last name, and then you see the design as a whole. So again, just making her a little larger, a little more proportionate to having the larger name. And as you can see at the bottom, you have options like remove background, you have highlight where you can highlight the text, you have bends where you can create the arches, and then you can add additional photos as well. Here I'm just going to add in her last name. I'm going to keep it in the font that you actually see here. Add that last name, Haley, and then we're going to move that down below, and then we'll just start adjusting just a bit. Again, right above the toolbar there, you see popular, fall, cursive, modern, light, festive, lovely, script, summer, recent. These are all just like the quick toolbar for font. But then you can click on see all, that's right there on the left hand side, and it will show all of the fonts that are available to you. For me, I pay for Pro, since this is my favorite program, and it just offers so much, and it's so streamlined with how they've designed it. And Pro offers you additional. You can also upload your own fonts to your account as well. You can go to defont.com, and there are millions of fonts that you can get there for free. So again, defont.com, DAFONT.com. Here I'm just working on the stroke for the last name. Again, opacity is also one of my favorite tools to use, that you'll see there right next to stroke at the bottom toolbar. You also have format, which will let you italicize it, bold it, underline it. It'll let you center, right, left, or center as well, or position it right, left, or center as well. And that's just positioning when you type. You also have perspective, and that kind of gives you like a 3D effect. Very rarely would you use that on a memorial shirt, unless it's more like an urban type memorial shirt. Mostly perspective is something you use for like announcements or invitations, posters, things of that nature. And here I am just taking a look at a few things, making sure that everything is proportionate. I'm going to now add a couple more elements because again, a lot of the your clients are going to want what they want, and so if you can make it look cohesive with the design, it's great to give them what they want. For me though, if I don't feel it's cohesive with the design, I'll let them know and I will not do it. Because again, your design is a reflection of you, and as a designer, it is absolutely your responsibility to, yes, give them what they want, but also let them know when it's not going to be a cohesive look, or it may diminish from the quality of the look. Because ultimately, when they ask who did this or who designed this, they're going to say you, and they're not going to say, oh, and she told us not to use this. They're going to say, well, why that doesn't look right, or that, and I'm very serious about my work. So I'll let clients know whether I'm comfortable adding an element if I don't feel like it will fit. Here I'm just adjusting the doves, and you'll see me play with the opacity as I am right now. Again, it's a soft design, so we don't want the doves to be so bold. So again, I'm just playing with that here. The layers menu that you see that I'm playing with, you can duplicate whatever layer you're working on or any of the other layers just by clicking on the layer, and it'll give you options to duplicate. It'll give you options to delete. And then also you can lock the elements. So as you're working on one element, it does not alter or remove the others. So again, I'm just adjusting and working on these right now. Now here, as you see me playing with highlights and also just the colors, the clarity, and the light options, I am just actually trying to make that very bottom dove in her name a little more warm, a little warmer. And then just so that since it is full opacity, you want to make sure it matches with the tone of the photo. And here I'm back on the layers menu and just taking a look here, making sure I am happy with the final for everything. And so I didn't like how underneath her last name it seemed a bit empty. So here you see me just adding an additional element, and I'll just put it on both sides. And I'll just, do a little adjustments. And then eventually, again, I will long press it and drag it down so it's behind the actual name. So you see the name elements just above her element, her picture element on the right hand side on the layers menu. You just long press there, and you can put whatever element behind or in front of whatever other element. In this case, I'm long pressing and I'm putting the clouds behind her names. And then here I'm just doing a little adjustment. And the reason the rest of it is not moving is because I have locked it, the little lock on the upper right hand side of the layers menu. So now that you have finished your project, you are just going to click on the 3 buttons up top, and then it brings up this screen. You'll see it says saving changes underneath untitled project. Once it tells you the changes were saved, you'll just click on the pencil, and then you would just name it whatever you want to title the image. Here's our finished products. I did 2 versions, and then also now you add your mock-up image, take off whatever you don't want, add your image to it so that you can give the example of what it looks like. And yeah, we started here and we ended up here. Please make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Let me know